It's time to spill a little bit of tea. And by spill some tea, I mean I'm going to answer your questions about Thai BL. So just in case you guys didn't know, I'm an actor in Thailand and I've appeared in 4 different BL series before, both as a couple and as a supporting character. And last time I made one of these videos, someone commented and was like, "You don't even know what it's like to be in a ship." Dude. Come on, I was in one. So whilst I am not an expert on Thai BL, I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable. Recently on Twitter, I made a post asking for any questions you guys had about BL, and I picked 10 of them, which I'll be answering today. Question number 1. How do actors manage their on-screen chemistry if there's a language barrier between them? There's been a few Korean collaborations with Thai companies, and I'd love to know your thoughts on that, especially since you're multilingual yourself. All right, well, actually in the very first BL series that I was in, My Engineer, the character who played Meg was actually Chinese and only spoke Chinese, no English, no Thai. And the way they worked through that was he would get the script totally in Chinese, and then the guy playing his on-screen partner in touch, he obviously has this whole script in Thai, and they would have to memorize their own lines and the other person's lines so they know exactly what the other person was saying. You know, like really, it's not ideal in my opinion. It makes the acting process a lot harder. Knowing what the other person is saying is really important because as an actor, like the whole acting process is an action and reaction. So if you don't know the action of the other person, you can't react to it, which makes it really difficult. It's not impossible, obviously, because there have been productions where like on-screen partners speak different languages. It's just a very time-consuming process. When you're on the set of a TV show, you spend a lot of time with the other person and also in the lead up to the shooting, you know, workshops and stuff like that. So I think during that time, even without being able to speak the same language, you can communicate, and through communication, you can build chemistry. It's not ideal, but totally possible. I'm sure a lot of people watching right now, you've met people in real life, if you've been on holiday or anything like that, where you don't speak the same language, but you can find a way to communicate and even like have relationships with people, you know, not like, you know, romantic or not. Even if you don't speak the same language, the chemistry can be there. I think it just comes through faster if you can speak the same language. Next question. Are Thais in general aware of how popular BL has become internationally in the last few years, or is it more of a fandom phenomenon? Okay, first of all, I wouldn't say BL has become popular internationally in the last few years. I guess maybe more than it was before, but I feel like it's been pretty popular for a while now, at least 5 to 6 years already, at least. It's definitely not a fan phenomenon. Are Thai people aware of it? 100%. I think it's pretty hard not to be, especially when you go on social media, and I would say at least 30 to 40% of the comments from international fans, which is really awesome. Also, like during fan meetings or any kind of events and stuff, there is quite a big international fan turnout, which is always really, really awesome. You know, like different countries have different kind of norms and sensibilities. I think sometimes Thai culture can be a little bit less sensitive towards certain social issues than other countries. I've seen quite a few cases, especially in BL, whether it be, you know, like the content they talk about in a scene, it might be a joke they made or the particular outfit they're wearing, which might not be super like socially appropriate. And those kind of things get picked up by international fans as well as Thai fans as well sometimes. But I think those kind of things get picked up big by the international community, and that feedback makes its way back to Thailand, and then usually they will make a change and fix the issue. So yes, whether it be the actors or the production, I think they're very aware of the popularity of Thai BL overseas. Nice. All right. I'd love to know if there are talks or actual contracts before a ship is set up about what level of fan service they provide, how much, how intense, what are they comfortable with, etc. Okay. I don't think there are any contracts because that's quite hardcore. Like, as stated in the contract, we will only touch hands 4 times a month. I don't think anything like that exists from my knowledge, but I think there is definitely level of agreement between people who play on-screen couples about the level of fan service that they're going to do. In my personal experience, when I was in a ship, like me and Tale, like we didn't really have explicit talks about it. Like we weren't like, are you okay with this? Are you okay with this? Are you not okay with this? Because we were both just like pretty chilled, and we didn't actually like go out there to do a lot of fan service, if you know what I mean. Like we're just really good friends, and you know, as good friends do, sometimes you just do friendly stuff. I mean, it would be a lie for me to say that we didn't know that eyes were on us if you're out at an event or doing work together, because that would be kind of silly if you didn't know that. But we didn't do any kind of premeditated service or stuff like that. Like in our case, our personalities are really similar in that respect. So we didn't really have to talk about it because we were already kind of on the same page. That being said, you know, guys, this is just a little Q&A for my YouTube channel. I'm not gonna spill like all the tea, but I do know of cases where fan service has caused issues amongst actors. Like some people kind of might want to take it a little bit too far, or they're just thinking about it too much, or it's too planned out, and that has created problems. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. So it can create issues if it's not clearly discussed beforehand. But I personally feel like recently fan service has chilled out a lot, especially the productions that I've been a part of. I feel like it's not as big as a thing as it was before, although I could be wrong, and feel free to tell me in the comments down below. But actually, in my last Q&A video, I got a question about fan service, and it actually got me thinking a lot about it afterwards, and I've been wanting to share this thought for a while. See, like there's a lot of fans who enjoy fan service, and there are fans who do not like fan service. They think it's bad. And I said in my last video that, you know, it's fine if it's done like with a little bit of fun. You know, if people don't take it too seriously, then it's just like a little bit of fun to be had. That being said, the term is fan service. They are servicing the fans and giving the fans what they want. And I think sometimes fans of anything, we kind of forget that we have the power. In a lot of cases, like all it takes is for everyone to band together, and you can actually make really big changes. I think the reason why a lot of fan service still exists is because a large part of the fan base, they still enjoy fan service. I know there are those who don't, but I think it's fair to say overall, more people enjoy it than don't. But I think if the day came where the vast majority of fans didn't like fan service and they were very vocal about it, being like, we don't need this, we don't want this, we don't like it, I think things would change pretty quick. So I feel like this one might kind of like be up to the fans. If you really didn't like it, then yeah, you got a voice and you just got to let it be heard. Did I say something stupid? It sounded cool when I said it. I've been thinking about it for a while, honestly. But I had that one like sitting in the fridge, sitting on the shelf, under my bed. Had that one for a while, so it's good to get that one off my chest. Next question. Hi Perth, since you've acted in mostly BL series, have you or other actors ever felt worried that you'll get typecasted, as in you'll only get to be in BL series and no other roles? No, I don't think so. I wasn't worried about getting typecasted, I would say, because being in BLs I wouldn't say is typecasting. I think typecasting is more playing a particular character and you just play that type of character over and over again. But I would say at the very beginning, when I was in my first BL, I was a little bit worried that being in that BL would restrict some opportunities to do other types of work. And it turned out I was wrong. That being said, I did not reach the heights of popularity or fame that other BL couples do. So my situation was quite unique. Had I reached that point, maybe I couldn't have done some of the things that I got to do. But it was something that was in the back of my mind. But I think looking at recent actors in BL, I don't really think that's a thing anymore. Like being in BL, like BL used to be kind of niche, especially in Thailand, but now literally everyone knows it pretty much. Like everyone knows like what a BL is. And I don't think there is that label or like stigma of being a BL actor like there was before. When you would like go places or like go to work, when you would like appear in work or whatever, like sometimes they would say like BL actor, but I've always thought of like, what is a BL actor? Like we're just actors, is not BL actors. Like I understand, like especially in my case, I've only appeared in BLs, so to give me the title of BL actor, I guess technically wouldn't be wrong, but I can act in other stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not just BLs, but I don't think it might have been something that people worried about before, but it's not anything that I think people are worried about now. All right, next up, has working in BL series had any influence on your own understanding of love? I would say for sure. Like I wasn't closed-minded or like a bigot or anything before, but I think I just personally lacked a lot of understanding and also experience in life in general. When I started acting, I was like 25, now I'm 29. And yeah, being a part of the BL industry and of course, you know, playing gay characters. As an actor, you really need to understand the ins and outs of your character as a human being. And yeah, I would say it's really broadened my understanding of love. It's getting deep, guys. I did pick the questions out myself, but I wasn't expecting things to get so deep so quick? That's what she said. I'm just joking. But yeah, I think in general, I would say like I'm quite accepting of new things and an understanding human being, but definitely being in BLs and just even in the Thai entertainment industry, there's large LGBTQ plus presence. I think especially being around a large variety of people has helped to increase my understanding of love and just the world in general. Yeah. And I remember someone asked me before, because I'm a straight actor playing a gay character. Someone asked me, like, how do you understand like how the character feels, or like how do you play a gay character? And I just feel like it's like pretty much the same thing, right? You know, like just people loving people, you know what I mean? I don't know, like I know it's a complicated matter, but I feel like it's kind of simple. You know, like if you like love a girl or love a guy, isn't it the same? Like, I'm pretty sure it's the same. Anyway, I know this is a BL Q&A and I'm talking about a lot of personal stuff, so excuse me. I just try to live my life by the motto of like, as long as what you're doing isn't hurting anyone, then who the hell cares? You know what I mean? Like, just try to keep my nose out of other people's business. Like, I don't really care how other people live in their life. You know, if people are happy, then it's just have a good time. I'm gonna die anyway. I mean, that's true, but I'm just joking around. To answer the question, yeah. I would say it's definitely had an influence on my understanding of love, and it's definitely helped me to become a more like understanding and open-hearted person, for sure. All right, next question. Hey Perth, do you read the original novel if there is any of the BL series you've portrayed? Okay, yeah, here's the thing. Of all the series I've been in, the novels were only available in Thai at the time. I am so good at reading Thai. Did I read the novels? I read one of them, and that's the truth. But the thing is, a lot of Thai BLs, they're adaptations of the novels, and they're actually quite different than the source material. So whilst the novels can give a lot of insight into characters, the one series I read the whole novel for, the entire novel, when we got the scripts, the staff was like, all right, who's read the novel? Most of us were like, me. They were like, all right, who hasn't read the novel? And then like a few people would be like, they'll be like, all right, good. If you haven't read the novel, don't worry about reading it because the story is totally different. And I was like, God damn it, motherfucker. So sometimes I'll read the novel. Like if the director says, I want you all to read the novel, then hell yeah, I would read the novel. But if it's optional, I mean, you can honestly, I think that you can get a pretty good understanding of the character just from the script alone. And it's not 100% necessary. Don't, tell the directors I said that though. But I think it's fine if you just read the script. As an actor in BL, even though it's just a story you're telling, have you ever had to deal with any homophobia directed at you? Now, this is an interesting one. Yeah. The short answer is yes. But it's not hardcore like homophobia. It's like soft homophobia. I mean, at the end of the day, homophobia is homophobia. But like, yeah, I have had guy friends. Not that many though. Like, honestly, I would say like out of 100 interactions, I would have like one kind of homophobic one. Like some dude would like, to be honest, he's not even my friend. He's the person I know. Sometimes if I run into this dude, he'll be like, Bill, kissing guys, huh? And then I'll just kind of be like, dude, what are you talking about? Don't be like that. But in general, nah, I don't really get much homophobia at all. But like sometimes like people make jokes and they're like, you know what I would say? I would say that as an actor who has worked in BL, I've received very little like homophobic stuff, but I would say what I do get more than that is like borderline sexual harassment. Like I understand, sometimes on set or like, on a BL series, things can get pretty steamy, but sometimes the comments that people make, I'm like, oh, Jesus, dude. I don't really take anything like that to heart. I'm a pretty chill dude in life. I just read it and just like, ugh, and then I just kind of move on. Or I delete it because I just don't like it. So I would say sexual harassment is more prevalent than any homophobic stuff. I remember when I got cast in my first BL and I told my friends back in Australia and they were like, oh dude, nice. Like they were just like happy that I was like working as an actor. They didn't even give a crap. Like they didn't even make, any comments about BL. Although BL isn't really a big thing at all in Australia. I mean, what I mean is like, it's not well known in Australia is what I'm trying to say. Shout out to the Australian fans. I'm not saying, you guys don't exist. What I'm saying is, in general. And I know that my friends' parents and some of my family members, like my older family members were kind of like, what is that kind of thing? But no one was homophobic. Next question. Acting is considered by most an unconventional career path. Do you ever find yourself comparing your life/career to your grade school peers, and how do you keep a positive outlook on decisions? This is a really interesting question because honestly, I have. I grew up in Australia and a lot of my friends went to university. Some of them went to like TAFE, which is like a place where you learn a trade, like car mechanic, carpenter, that kind of thing. And out of most of my friends, the ones that are doing the best in life now, best, subjective of course, money doesn't mean everything, but a lot of my friends who have things that I kind of wanted to have by this point in my life, like starting to build a family and house and all the kind of regular life stuff, they're all people who got trades. So yeah, one works as a mechanic, the other people work as like builders and all that kind of stuff, and they're doing fantastic in life. And then it makes me kind of think back and I feel like maybe you should have done that instead. And it's not too late to do that, but sometimes when I see them, it kind of makes me feel like, maybe I should have just gone for something a little bit more conventional. But that being said, even though like my life isn't like, I'm not rich or anything like that, but I've got to do some pretty damn cool things in my life working as an actor, moving to Thailand, learning Thai, learning Japanese. I got to be in a bunch of TV shows. I got to be all different types of things. Like I got to be a university student again, got to be a bodyguard, a bar owner. It was pretty fun, honestly. And one really cool thing about the acting profession is going to different places and doing new things all the time. I think that's the most fun thing. And also, acting is just pretending, and playing pretend, it's pretty damn fun. And now my career has taken me to Japan, and now I'm going to be in the Prince of Tennis musical. So now I'm going to be a tennis player, and I'm going to be singing, dancing, acting, and playing tennis on the stage, which is honestly nuts. Like when you put it into words, shit's pretty crazy. So whilst I would say I do have regrets about taking an unconventional path, I would say I'm way more happy and grateful when comparing the positives to the negatives. The positives for me personally far outweigh the negatives. And I'm having a pretty good time. Honestly, if I wasn't an actor, I probably wouldn't be doing YouTube either, which is a really big and fun part of my life. So yeah, I was wondering what it is like finding auditions and the whole process behind auditioning for a new role. Do you find it difficult balancing the roles you want to audition for with your current work schedule? All right, guys, this can be like a carry on from the previous question about acting as a profession. Unless you're super duper famous, beggars can't be choosers. You don't really have that much options. It's not about balancing roles you don't want to play and roles you do want to play. A lot of actors, we struggling. So me personally, I've never turned down a role. I want to work. If I was lucky enough to have the opportunity where I got to choose between two different roles, that would really be cool. But for me personally, and I think a lot of actors who I work with, we're not in a position to say no to anything. So ain't no balance for me. It's just kind of a yes or yes kind of thing. As for finding auditions, I would say there's most likely 3 ways they really come about. One is a series will have open auditions. So they might post about it on social media, like on Twitter or Instagram, and say, we have an open audition for this particular series. Please come if you meet the requirements. So they'll put a thing out about all the characters, say, we're looking for a person between this age and this age, this height, blah, 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 blah. And you can just turn up for the audition and try your best. The second one is they reach out to you. So in my particular case, the very first BL I was in, my engineer, the casting director DM'd me on Instagram and was like, hey, would you be interested in being in a BL and playing this character, blah, 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 blah. And I went to the audition. And I got it. The third way is being part of an artist management company. You're part of an agency and you have a manager, and your manager has connections, and through those connections they find out about auditions for series. So it's not announced publicly, but in the behind the scenes they'll say, we're looking for these kind of people. Do you have anyone that might suit this role? And then your manager will send in your profile, and if you get picked, you get to go to an audition. It's relatively simple when I say it out loud. Last question. Have you noticed or were aware that now with GLs coming on a rise, BLs are working harder and make more mature content? Do you feel it's putting some kind of pressure on all these actors, both female and male? And by that, I mean coming from their agencies straining them. If I'm understanding this question correctly, I think what you're asking is, with more GLs and BLs being made, is there more pressure to make mature content? In my opinion, the market for BLs, not so much GLs, they're still relatively new, but I think the market for BLs is honestly a little bit oversaturated at the moment. I think there's way more BLs than the public can kind of handle. What I mean is there was a point in time where you could kind of watch every single BL that was coming out, and now would be very difficult. You would need to spend all your free time watching BLs, I think. I mean, I wouldn't say it's oversaturated, but there's so many compared to before. I wouldn't say that there is any kind of pressure to make mature content, but I think in general, people, and when I say people, I mean the makers of BL, are aware that more mature content has a higher possibility of making an impact, you know, with the fans, and as a product of that, become popular. As an actor myself, I think having more mature scenes, I think if it really plays a role in the story, then it's cool, and I would be open to doing those kind of things if the director really thought it had an impact and served the story. I think it's not just the actors, but I think you guys as fans can also tell when sometimes things are just being done for the sake of, like, we just want to make more mature stuff because we know like fans like it, and if fans like it, then we can be popular and make money kind of thing. I mean, it's all genuine, and the thing is, at the end of the day, like, it's all up to your own taste. If you like that stuff, then like it's all cool, and if you don't like it, then like don't watch it kind of thing. But I think as BL series evolve, already in this 5 to 6 year span that I've been a part of BL, the storytelling and the themes explored have become a lot more complex, and in some cases they've moved on from, you know, high school or university student stories to more adult stories. And of course, being an adult, adults are mature, so therefore the content being mature is kind of, you know, straightforward connection. So in a way, I think it's just a kind of natural evolution and progression in general. So I wouldn't say that, yeah, actors are being pressured. That being said, I think before you get into shooting a GL or BL, you would have a pretty good idea of what is required of you as an actor to play that role before you take the role. So yeah, I wouldn't say people are getting pressured outright. All right, guys, that is the end of today's Q&A. I hope that you gained some knowledge and I answered some questions that you guys found interesting. I actually quite enjoy answering your questions, and it's fun to see what you guys are interested about, in particular regarding the BL industry. So I'll probably make another one of these videos in a few months. So I'll see you guys then. See ya.